It's the Bay Area Quiz Kids. Brought to you by the San Mateo Credit Union. And now, give it up for the best host on the West Coast, Brad Friedman.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Quiz Kids. I think we have a really great show for you tonight because we have two strong champion teams. Over here, we have the 2009 season winners of Quiz Kids, the Bellarmine Bells. And representatives from last year's championship team, Mission San Jose Warriors. So the scores are going to get high, I'm sure of it. Let's start by meeting the Bellarmine team and Nikhil Desai. How are you, Nikhil?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I love the combination of the shirt and tie. It looks
Thank
very
you.
good. You took part in an internship last summer at NASA Ames.
I worked in a group called the Intelligent Robotics Group. What we did wasn't exactly related to robotics, but it would definitely helped out the NASA robots that are currently working in Mars. What I did was create a program that was designed to work and create 3D models of lunar images. And programs like that are going to be useful for Mars rovers when they start heading to, navigating the planet, because it'll be useful for them to find their way around.
Wow. How old are you?
I'm 16.
Of course. That sounds very impressive. Good for you, Nikhil. You'll explain it to me again later. Tane Kotari, a senior, and you took part in a different kind of internship, more on the legal economic side. What did you do?
Right. I worked for a consulting firm called LECG based in Oakland, and my job was to come up with a program that would allow for the modeling of class action lawsuits in the past using companies like Enron. And what it would do was to model future growth of class action lawsuits. So if a company ever gets sued for doing something wrong, the program would come into play and determine how much the settlement is.
Wow. Gee, Mimini. Yeah, that's amazing. So, you know, people will be looking, law firms will be looking at these big lawsuits and finding out what Tane said to do.
I sure hope not.
Yeah. Phil Yakushev, you're a senior.
Yes.
And you worked this summer for pay with an online publishing firm.
Yes, I did.
So how does that work?
Well, it was an online-based publishing firm, as you mentioned just so eloquently. And really what it was a brokerage house called London Brokers, and what they try to do, they try to provide freelance writers an opportunity to make some money. So they'd give you a 2-word description on their bulletin boards, so like web design or legal consulting, and you have to write an 800-word article or a 400-word article on that topic.
And did the topics span all different ranges of...
Yeah, it can be anything from legal issues to political issues to web design to sports.
Wow. You guys are really impressive, and you dress so nicely. All right, let's get ready to play the collaboration round and give you a chance to earn 100 points. I have 3 topics for you to choose from. If you give me 7 correct answers and score 70 points, I'll give you a 30-point bonus. Would you like To the Dogs, Never Say Die, or Awful? And I want to just point out AU for awful.
Alex will go with Never Say Die.
Alex. That's very funny. Thank you, Tane. I want a raise. I'm not asking any questions till I get a raise. Never Say Die. These things include the letters D-I-E. Note that these letters are not pronounced die in this round. They are not pronounced die. First question. The French were defeated in 1954 in Indochina.
Dien Bien Phu.
That's right.
Dien Bien Phu.
Very good answer to a poorly written question. I apologize. Next, in high school, history and civics are combined into this department.
Social studies.
Social
Social studies.
This alternative to the gasoline engine originally used coal dust as fuel.
Diesel.
Diesel.
Right. It's an amount of money that a business traveler can use for incidental expenses.
Stipend? Do they want the DIE in order?
Yeah.
Dividend? Do you have anything?
No.
Dividend.
A per diem.
Oh.
It's Latin for seize the day.
Carpe diem. Carpe diem.
Correct. This German movie star and sex symbol of the 1930s starred in Blue Angel.
German. I don't know.
I heard you guys talking about her
Dietrich
before the show.
Habermas.
Say again?
Dietrich Habermas?
No, Marlene Dietrich.
Ah.
You boys, they'll say, oh, never mind. It's the name of the Japanese National Assembly.
Diet.
Yeah.
Diet or diet? Diet.
Right, that's it for 50 points in this round. Congratulations. We'll meet their opponents after these messages. welcome back. And we're talking now to the Mission San Jose Warriors and Raymond Liu. You're a sophomore.
Yes.
And of course, every boy who grows up wants to have a pet of his own.
Of course.
And you have chosen one that is probably easier to train and take care of than most.
It's a pet rock, and it's invisible. His name is Jimmy.
Your invisible pet rock, Jimmy. And what made you choose a pet rock? They're not very cuddly.
Well, they're very loyal. They're very steadfast. They don't crack under pressure like others would.
And Jimmy, is that reference to a former pet rock or somebody special?
I just like that name.
Oh, good. My brother's name is Jimmy, and he's forward and
sure he's a very nice
steadfast,
guy.
but better than a rock. Jeffrey Lee, you're a senior, and you have a dream.
Yes, my dream is to run an international high-altitude pastry baking competition.
And how did that work? Where would you set that?
Like maybe Mount Everest is like maybe the championship round, but like maybe some on each continent, like Aconcagua in South America,
Okay.
or like Minson Massif in Antarctica. See how that works.
Right. So how would you set up your ovens?
I don't know. It's like you have to be an engineer as well. You have to engineer ovens that will work at very low temperatures on fuels that won't freeze at very low temperatures.
Okay. Well, I'll go for it as long as you make some gluten-free pastries.
Okay.
Richard Zhang, you're a junior, and you are involved in chess, tournament chess, and chess at school.
Yeah,
How long have you been doing tournaments?
since 6th grade.
And how old are you now? 16?
I'm 16.
16. So your rating right now, you feel pretty good about it so far?
Yeah, it's okay for someone who's 16.
Okay, good. And you're heading higher, I'm sure. Good for you. All right, gentlemen, you can play the game if you choose the category. Will it be to the dogs or awful?
It will be awful.
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 These things are associated with gold. AU signifies gold. Led by the Khans, they invaded Russia from Mongolia.
The Golden Horde.
That's right. King Midas had this, much to his chagrin.
The Golden Touch.
Right. It brought the 49ers to California.
The Gold Rush.
Right. It's an Edgar Allan Poe short story.
Gold bug?
Okay.
The gold bug.
Correct. This communist and feminist from the 19th century came back from the USSR disillusioned. UC Berkeley now has her letters.
Goldman.
Yes, Emma. It is Emma Goldman. Good. Henry Paulson was once president of this investment bank.
Goldman Sachs.
Correct. And the final one, he was a Republican candidate for president in 1964.
Goldwater.
And I give you 30 points. You got 100 points. Congratulations. And we'll be right back to play the three-for-all. Let's give a big greeting to the coaches for both teams. First, from the Bellarmine Bells, Mr. Chris Fleetus. And from the Mission San Jose Warriors, Mr. Peter Geschke. Thank you, gentlemen, for the work you've done with these fine young scholars. And now it's time for the three-for-all. I will ask a 10-point toss-up question, and the first player to buzz in and give me the correct answer will then own that round. I'll ask a second question. If your team can collaborate, give me the right answer, you'll score 20 points. Third correct answer will give you 40 points. If you buzz in, give me an incomplete answer or an incorrect answer, I will give the other team the chance to take that round, okay? We have 100 to 50. Good luck. Here's the first toss-up. The set of points equidistant from a directrix and a focus defines, yes, Nikhil.
A parabola?
Right, for 20. Which of the conic sections is the proper representation of a planet's orbit?
Ellipse.
Ellipse.
Right. Which of the conic sections has two pieces known as branches?
Two
Yeah,
pieces?
go ahead with the...
Hyperbola.
You got 40 points. Congratulations. Next toss-up. In mathematics, what is the name for all the numbers to the right of the decimal point in a... Yes, Tanay.
Positive.
No, in a logarithm. It is a mantissa. Next. What first human-made plastic was invented by Alexander Parkes in 1855 and found one of its original uses in the manufacture of billiard balls? Jeffrey?
Rayon.
No.
Okay.
You can steal. You can just...
Oh. Thermite.
Thermite.
Celluloid. There are new men, new lands, new thoughts. Let us demand our own works and laws and worship. These words are from the essay Nature by what new yes to name?
Emerson.
Right. In an 1862 lecture, what was Emerson referring to when he said, "The South calls it an institution, I call it destitution"?
Slavery.
Slavery.
And for 40 points, what was the name given to the 19th century movement to eliminate slavery?
Abolition.
Abolition.
Abolitionism is right. Next, which former U.S. senator flew in the space shuttle 3 decades after his historic Mercury mission? Nikhil.
Glenn.
Right. Mercury astronaut John Glenn later represented what state in the U.S. Senate?
Ohio.
Correct. For 40, Glenn wasn't the first U.S. senator to fly on the space shuttle. What Utah senator flew aboard a shuttle in 1985?
Hatch.
Hatch.
Jake Garn.
It's okay.
You got 20 points. Here's the next toss-up. In the 18th century, it was discovered that women in what occupation appeared to be immune to smallpox? Richard.
Milkmaid.
Correct. For 20, what disease of milkmaids conferred immunity to smallpox?
Cowpox.
And for 40 points, who made the discovery and was the first to vaccinate humans using cowpox serum?
Jenner.
Edward Jenner, you got 40 points. If you feel better after taking only an inert sham medication, you're experiencing, yes?
Placebo effect.
The placebo effect is right for 20 points. What two-word sweet name is often used to describe the typical placebo?
Sugar pill.
And for 40 points, we call sugar pills placebos because they make patients happy. Latin speakers will know placebo is a verb meaning what when translated into English?
Fool. Yeah, go ahead.
Fooling people.
I will please. I will please. All right, next. The Monsanto process was once the major method. Yes, Raymond.
Acetic acid.
Right. The word vinegar comes from the Old French vinaigre, meaning what kind of wine?
Sour.
Sour.
Right. For 40 points, what is the dark, highly aged vinegar that's the product of years of aging in a successive number of casks made of various types of wood? It was on my salad today at lunch, balsamic vinegar. The characteristic smell associated with lightning results from the formation of which, Jeffrey?
Ozone.
Right. CFCs damage the ozone layer because they become active when exposed to what wavelength of light?
Ultraviolet.
Right. For 40, what is the trade name for the CFC trichlorofluoromethane?
Freon.
Yeah, probably. Freon.
That's it for 40 points. Next, what was the name of Charles Foster Kane's sled in the... Yes.
Rosebud.
What?
Rosebud.
For 20 points, Citizen Kane was directed by its lead actor. Name him.
Wells.
That's right, Orson Welles. Citizen Kane was based upon the life of what newspaper magnate?
Hearst.
That is it for 40 points. Expensive gasoline generally has more energy per gallon since its carbon chains are longer. The oomph of gasoline is reported at the pump. Yes, Nikhil.
Octane rating.
Right. For 20, it's no joke that low-octane gasoline can cause an engine to do what?
Knock. Okay.
Knock.
For 20 is right. What toxic metal was part of common anti-knock compound but started to be phased out in the 1970s?
Arsenic.
I don't know. Lead? Because lead?
Lead is right for 40 points. We will come back with more of this round after these messages. Free-for-all round. Here's the next toss-up question. At Sacramento, the Sacramento River joins what other river? Phil?
San Joaquin.
Yes. What is the name of the bay in which the Sacramento and San Joaquin merge?
Sassoon. Sassoon.
Suisun Bay. That's right. Suisun Bay empties into San Pablo Bay through what strait?
What's the name of that bridge?
San Leandro.
No, it's the name of that bridge, the Carquinez Strait.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry.
Of Newton, Huygens, or Doppler, who in 1678 postulated a wave theory of Nikhil?
Huygens.
Right. Huygens' theory assumed a propagation medium for light waves. What did he call that medium?
Ether.
Ether.
Right. For 40 points, the idea of the luminiferous ether was abandoned after the publication of which of Einstein's theories?
Theory of relativity. Which one?
General? Or?
Special relativity, I think.
Special relativity.
That is right, for 40 points. Which mythical creature would devour anyone who couldn't answer her riddle? Raymond?
The Sphinx?
Yes, I dated her. The Sphinx, with the riddle, was said to guard the entrance to which ancient Greek city?
Thebes.
That's right. And for 40 points, which complex character finally solved the riddle of the Sphinx?
Oedipus.
You got 40 points. The American Catholic Men's Fraternal Organization is known by what three-word name? I'm sorry, it's too late. They are the Knights of Columbus. To a Bay Area foodie, Berkeley's North Shattuck Avenue is known by what alliterative name? Nikhil.
Oh, Telegraph Avenue.
I'm sorry, no, you can steal.
No idea.
No idea.
No idea.
Gourmet Ghetto. Name the Utah Salt Flats where many land speed... Yes, Danae.
Bonneville?
Right. The Salt Flats are located west of what inland body of water?
Great Salt Lake.
Right. Salt Lake City is the home to what basketball team with a musical name?
Jazz.
The Jazz. You got 40 points. The Neva River circles what Russian... Phil.
St. Petersburg?
You should know that. In 1924, St. Petersburg was renamed after what Bolshevik leader?
Peter the Great.
Lenin.
Lenin, for 40 points. In St. Petersburg, you can experience which early summer phenomena where twilight lasts all night?
White Night. Is there a scientific name?
I don't know.
White Night.
What the scientific name is white nights. Good. Well done. 40 points. Give a hand. Until 1955, the UK opposed, on military grounds, what structure that now links England and France by an Yes, Nikhil.
The Channel Tunnel?
Right. Although the London to Paris trains are the most well-known, some passenger trains leave London and travel through the Channel on their way to what Belgian capital?
Brussels.
That is right. And the Channel Tunnel was constructed largely by TBMs. What is the meaning of the acronym TBM?
Oh, Tunnel Boring Machine. I think.
Tunnel boring machine.
We'll go for that, yes. 40 points. I think there's one going through Switzerland right now. According to accounts by his nephew, Pliny the Elder died in 79 AD during what, Nikhil?
Mount Vesuvius?
Right. By what name is that nephew known?
Pliny the Younger, I thought.
Is it just Pliny the Younger?
Right, for 40 points. Name one of the 3 Roman towns destroyed by Vesuvius.
Herculaneum or Pompeii?
Herculaneum.
Pompeii and Stabia. Yes. We're almost done. That's 40 points. We're done. That's the end of the round. 450 to 260. We'll be back with the final round. Stay tuned.
Tournament champions will win an all-expenses-paid trip to Europe, courtesy of ACIS.
In the final countdown round, your hands will be on your buzzers. The first person to buzz in gets to answer. Give me a correct answer, you score 30 points. If you give me an incorrect answer, the other team will get a chance to collaborate and steal. 450 to 260. Good luck to both teams. Let's put 3 minutes on the clock. Of snowboarding, surfing, or skateboarding, it's the extreme sport associated with Tony Hawk. Tanae.
Skateboarding.
Right. What monsoon-swept coastal nation won its independence from Pakistan in the 19th? Yes, Nikhil.
Bangladesh?
Correct. Which island nation formerly occupied by Indonesia was formally recognized? Jeffrey.
East Timor.
Correct. One of Galileo's observations that provided support for the Copernican heliocentric view was the phases of what planet? Raymond.
Venus.
Right. What portly, low-level priest with a good appetite was spiritual leader to Robin Hood? Phil.
Friar John.
No, I'm sorry. You can steal.
Fartok.
Yeah.
Fartok.
Right. Of Serbia, Albania, or Montenegro, which Balkan nation was occupied by fascist Italy? Nikhil.
Montenegro?
No.
Probably Albania, right?
Go.
Albania.
Correct. The death of Warren depicts what 1776 Revolutionary War battle that occurred near Boston? Phil.
Bunker Hill.
Correct. Of rowing, sailing, or lacrosse, it's the sport in which the team is led by a coxswain. Jeffrey.
Rowing.
Correct. Maine is in the eastern time zone, but cross the Maine border into New Brunswick, and you enter what time? Yes, Tanae.
Central.
No. What time zone?
Eastern.
Was it Atlantic? Was it Maritime? I don't know. Maritime?
Atlantic.
Oh.
What was the name of the administrative governors of Spanish South America before the... Yes, Nikhil?
Encomenderos?
No, I'm sorry. Before the independence movements.
I don't know.
Viceroys. It releases free energy when its phosphate bonds are hydrolyzed. Yes, to Nikhil.
ATP?
That is, no, I need more. I need
Adenosine
more.
triphosphate.
You got it. What Italian dance has a name that sounds like a spider? Yes.
Tarantella.
Correct. Of Hokkaido, Honshu, or Shikoku, it is the smallest of. Yes, Nikhil?
Shikoku.
Yes. Of amphoratic, amphoteric, or ambivalent, what sort of oxide lies on the border, Tane?
Amphoteric.
Correct. Which European city's harbor features a statue of the Little Mermaid? Jeffrey?
Copenhagen.
Correct. A colony for debtors was the inspiration for James Oglethorpe when he founded, Jeffrey?
Georgia.
Right. Fortunately, he was ransomed and returned to England. Name the great medieval English poet who later wrote the Canterbury Tanae.
Chaucer.
That's right, we have less than a minute. What law of physics states mass equals electrochemical equivalent? Yes, Nikhil?
Nernst equation.
Mass equals electrochemical equivalent times current times time. It's Faraday's law of electrolysis. In what 1970s musical does a hippie mistakenly exchange identities with a Vietnam? Yes, Jeffrey?
Hair.
Correct. We have states and Canada has provinces. What is the name for the regional units of Switzerland?
Cantons.
Correct. Which Bronte sister wrote Northanger? Yes.
Emily Bronte.
No, I'm sorry, that's incorrect, and actually this is an incorrect question. I'm going to move on. What sort of real number is not expressible as the quotient of two integers? I'm sorry, the time is up. With 690 to 530, Bellarmine wins the game. Northanger Avenue.
Go to quizkids.tv to meet our teams, learn more about the questions on today's show, and to get tickets to see the show in person.
We had two strong teams and a great game. They'll all be back in a few weeks, and I know you'll be back with us next week. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.